Good afternoon. This is Carl. How are you doing this evening? Um, I am here today to talk about a photo shoot. Let's talk photo shoots and what to expect and what happened with the one that I did. Give you some tips on what not to do. I'm trying to keep my videos under 10 minutes, so this will be really quick because I want to be able to put it on the Instagram Live, and there's a 10-minute limit there. But anyway, wanted to talk about a photo shoot I just recently had. The photo shoot was, of course, with my sister and some of her friends. And this was supposed to be a girls' day kind of photo shoot where the girls were going to do like 3 different looks, and we were going to do like different background areas, different locations. And we ended up kind of staying at the same location because it had some stuff that we found that was pretty good for the photo that we needed. Um, and that's important with the photographer. Whatever you take a photograph, make sure that you think about what they're doing, what you want to convey, what you want to come out of it, what can be memorable, and talk to your person who's in charge and find out exactly what their vision is, and then give them a few areas to scope out. The city of Dallas has so many beautiful areas that I gave my sister like several different locations. She actually works at one of the local community colleges here. It has a lot of character, and so she gave me some areas at the college had. I said, well, this is a great location. But the goal was to go some other places. But as time drew, and because the girls were doing 3 different looks, and they had to change clothes, change hair, and jewelry, things of that nature, ended up being that was the primary location that we did, which was good. Now, guy photographers, what you have to learn about women when you photographing women, you got to be patient because women do not like to be put in any bad light in any kind of photograph. So they're going to always take their time getting ready, which I was quite patient with that. But they were very beautiful women, and it was really fun to do. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. A few of these ladies were actually former classmates of mine, so I knew them. There was one person that I met new, and she was very gracious as well. So I had a great time. Very beautiful women. Now, here's what my challenge was as a photographer. When you have a group of ladies, like I did, there were like 5 of them, including my sister, um, especially with African American subjects, we have so many different skin tones. So your camera is going to have some issues trying to find the one to focus that you're going to focus on. Now within a camera, you have several different focal points, and I'll give you a graphic up there, and you'll see what the focal points look like within the camera. So you have to determine if you're going to focus on one particular item to get your focus from there, or you want to do a multiple focal point try to get everyone. But your camera, depending on the type of camera that you have, can only do so much to find the right focus that you're going to have for your subjects. Now, I had a particularly challenging one because all 5 of my ladies had all different skin tones, from very, very light to almost medium dark, about my complexion. So I knew that I was going to be spending some time in the editing floor to try to make sure that everybody had a great light of the photograph. So here's an example of the photo I'll show you over here. If you look over to my screen, you'll see this particular photo up here that has if you look up here, you'll see the photo, and you'll see what I mean with the skin tones. Very beautiful women. Now, my lightest skin subject in the photo model, I had very little editing to do because the camera loved that tone of skin. It just does. It's natural to understand that. So, I mean, if you're talking light, and when you're messing with darkness, it gets a little bit hard to get light into darkness. So, and that would be us, African American. We're beautiful, but our skin tones can be difficult on camera. So, you'll probably notice that if you ever had a photograph taken by a particularly Anglo photographer, they sometimes are challenged with getting our skin tone correct. So that part I know because I'm African American, so I know exactly what to do. So that was the challenge, and my biggest challenge is in this photo shoot, and is because of age, is my focus. I wear contacts, and I wear glasses, but when I like to look through the viewfinder of the camera and not the LCD panel. I don't like taking pictures from the LCD panel. I don't know why. It just doesn't work for me. I'd rather do video from that. But my contacts, so you're able to focus your viewfinder to your site, okay? So I do that to my contacts that I have on, and I get 20/20 vision with my contacts. But I'm nearsighted. So what happens is, as soon as my contacts are supposed to be bifocal, but they're really not. So as soon as I take the photo, I look at it, but then I'm looking at it and it's this close up to me, so it's blurred. So I had a hard time knowing when things were blurred and when things were not. So I have my readers on top of my head, my eyes trying to focus. So it just, and then I know that it affects the photos sometimes because of the oh, and so when you get to a bit of age, that becomes a challenge. Some photographers like to put their glasses on and do them straight into the camera, but I don't like doing that. But anyway, here's another photograph of some of my subjects. I think this was a very good photograph here, and I like this one a lot. Very nice photograph. As you can see, these are very beautiful women. So I knew that I had these challenges with my focusing and my eyes and with my different skin tones. So what I did was I knew I had to take a lot of photos. I took over 800 photos. I knew I was going to have to throw some out. I threw quite a bit out. And I spent a lot of time editing. I use Lightroom for editing, camera editing. It's Adobe Lightroom, which is a great tool. I have a lot of presets that you can do with skins and things like that. And I also do something called PicsMonkey, which helps me do a lot of cleanup of like removing wrinkles and whitening teeth, things like that. So you want to have the best experience possible. And guy photographers, if you're taking photos, women are not going to want to see anything that looks unpleasing to them. So you're going to have to take some time on the editing to make sure that everything is correct. I learned that the hard way from my sister. She was quite adamant. So I said, I get it now. I get it. Okay. So I had a great time with the photo shoot. It was a really fun time. I also was back on eBay and I noticed I found a camera. Should have bought it. Still can't afford it, but you know, it is what it is. It was at a nice bid rate, so I got it. So it's going to be a Canon 70D, and what this camera is going to do for me that the other one can't, it has more focal points, which is kind of important for me, especially if you're doing a group scene like this. I was a bit nervous about how the photos were going to come out, but all in all, I think I was quite pleased with what happened with the photos. But it's all in learning when you do photo shoots exactly what you have. Now, this is why whenever a guy, if you do a wedding, weddings can probably be the hardest thing. I haven't done one yet, but I've watched photographers in motion and I've seen some of the pictures. So you can probably freak out when you know this is a moment that you're only going to be able to capture today. So you have to take your time, practice. You know, I pull my cameras out all the time and just take things. I go outside, I'll take flowers, I work on my focusing. I work on subjects, whoever will let me take their picture. I'm trying to work on different skin tones. And then I play with the photos and I play with my editing. All that's very important. So, and in my journey of becoming a world-class photographer, which is what I want to be, because I love taking photos, I want to be able to just take a photo and be able to just uh, magnify it into this beautiful piece of mine that I created. You know, there's some photographers that feel like editing is not, if you're not a good photographer, then you shouldn't have to edit. I tend to disagree with that because every photo that you see, I guarantee you that there are some photographers out, most photographers are editing their photos a little bit. They're not going to give you the raw deal. They're going to always do a little bit of editing to make your photographs look perfect. And there's actually a little bit of a discussion in the photography world about whether or not using editing software means you're a good photographer. I mean, there were a few photographs that I took on Saturday when I tried to edit. It came back exactly like it was. You can try it when you do like the auto correct and nothing happens. That means that the software says, "Hey, this is a pretty good photo." I had a few of those, so that was exciting to know that I actually had the right settings for my camera. Now, when I'm shooting very big like this, I usually shoot in aperture priority mode because I use my arsenal, and that mode gives me, it takes a little bit of the pressure off and it tries to find a few things for me as I'm working. So, well, that's the photo shoot that I did, and I hope you enjoyed this particular session, and I hope to talk to you guys again. Maybe next time we'll talk about a little bit about blogging your photos on Instagram and some other techniques that I've learned. Got a couple of more photo shoots. I got a family coming up, and then I also have a, a, a new artist, a singer. So she's wanting some headshots. So we need to be really special with that. So we'll see how that goes. So again, this is PicsByCalo. My name is Carl, and I'm trying to figure out what to look here. I'm looking all over the place. I know it, but I'm working it out. But thank you for your time, and go out there and shoot some photos. Have a wonderful day. Bye now.